Okay, welcome to my vlog submission for assignment 4B, field experience reflection piece. I'll reflect on your field experience, getting right into it. I was able to conduct my field experience at Wilson High School in Hacienda Heights, California. This is a school that is part of the Hacienda La Puente Unified School District, a K through 12 district, and I was able to get this field experience done with a family member, my dad, Robert Oviedo, who has been on the staff teaching history, teaching all social studies courses for the past almost 20 years at Wilson now. Really fortunate to get in there in this crazy kind of climate we're living in right now, with a lot of teachers stressed out, having to learn a new distance learning format. So I was very fortunate to be able to have somebody in my own family who was able to allow me to observe the class. Although I moving into what went according to the plans, obviously the lesson assign or the assignment instructions were to carry out instruction of your lesson. However, this was not a possibility due to the fact that the synchronous time that the teachers have been allotted has been cut down um, almost by a third. So it was a little bit of a tall request to ask of a teacher to hand over a full day of instruction when they're one, barely getting to know their students. This is only the second week of instruction time, and it was just I was fortunate though to be able to get in there and introduce myself as a teaching student teaching candidate who will be on their campus in the spring semester. So hopefully getting some kind of familiarity with some of the student body, and looking forward to being on campus with their department chair for my student teaching in the spring. Um, what needed to be changed with this lesson plan? This lesson plan was designed, and as I scroll through here through some of the information that is in my submission, working through this, we're going to be reviewing, kind of reintroducing some content material from the students' eighth grade U.S. history classes. So we're going to reintroduce them to the abolition movement, to the reform movements of the late 17th, 1800s. Examining, reintroducing the cause and effects of the Civil War. And we're going to get into the causes of the Civil War in this lesson. However, the effects and the Reconstruction period will be discussed in later on this week. So the teacher comes in, greets the students with everything. He gets how this class works is he's trying to really implement the ideals of, like, you guys are not going to be asked to have hard deadlines. So you're going to be judged primarily on how well you participate. Participation levels among peers is going to be a big determinant in how engaging, how exciting, how much these students get out of it. So much of doing online courses is what you decide to make out of it yourself. Kind of moving in, going back, how would you do things differently next time? I would hopefully be able to get in a time when there is no pandemic and teach this lesson myself. But it was very beneficial to get in and see what are the expectations of teachers as they move through this distance learning curriculum. What are the expectations that the district and that the department chairs are going to be asking of the teachers on staff, and how can I prepare myself in the future in order to be efficient and to be ready to go as soon as I hit the ground or get on campus in the spring. Hopefully, we're able to get back in with a distance or with a hybrid learning platform. When I did talk to my master teacher candidate, he did express to me his doubts that we were going to be back into the classroom fully by springtime. So he said to definitely get uh, a plethora of online resources ready, which is something that this class has helped with as well. What are your personal strengths? I feel like some of my personal strengths are as a communicator. I feel like um, uh, I'm very good at relating to somebody and with empathizing with somebody's struggles and where they're coming from. And this is partially due to my background working at at the junior college baseball level in an area that doesn't have a whole lot of money. Obviously, junior college guys are at they wish they want to be at the 4 year level for a variety of reasons, grades, behavior. They were not able to do that. So I think that I'm able to relate with people on a deeper level, kind of understand like some things that are going on in their lives outside of the classroom and understanding how that affects somebody's performance in the classroom. If you're worried about things in your personal life that are going to take importance over uh, whatever's going on in the classroom, you're not going to be able to focus and engage thoroughly. So I think my communication skills are going to help get myself through this spring with student teaching in a hybrid format. Having a lot of flexibility, being able to understand that not everything's going to go perfectly, and that sometimes certain links aren't going to work, certain students aren't going to be able to have technology that is functional at the time, and that you're just going to have to work to accommodate them and to work to try to make sure that we're able to still get them along and that they're able to get the most out of the class, even though we're in a very different time right now. And what areas do you want to grow as a teacher? Um, while I do feel like I'm an effective communicator, I feel like I can sometimes take too much control of the lesson, or take too much control of letting not letting the students speak enough. This is something that I discuss in my discussion with an educator in the previous course, in that the person who is doing the speaking is the one who is doing the learning. And kind of hearing that was really an eye opener for me, because yes, I have been learning in my time as a student, as a credential candidate, being able to get up in front of classrooms. The more and more I am able to get in front of them and to practice my speaking, I become more confident in what I'm doing. And the same thing applies when you're discussing history curriculum. The more and more that students are able to discuss the curriculum and how it relates to their personal life, their daily experience living in America, I think that's going to be key in making connections to the content. However, like in this distance learning format, how are you going to get students to buy in and interact with each other? Because they may not have like that daily interaction. Like, hey, I see this person, I like come into contact with him walking through the halls, I'm going to chit chat with him, and there's not any opportunity for that. So how are we going to create the opportunity for students to engage with the materials um, directly, not listening to me go on like and teaching from a PowerPoint, not from us watching a crash course or a Ken Burns documentary? How are they going to find examples that connect to their personal lives? So it was a very different kind of observation experience. I thought it was very beneficial for me to kind of get an understanding of what my life will be like in the spring. Because so that way I can prepare some kind of set schedule that will allow myself to present my class in the most efficient way possible. And I'm really looking forward to getting on campus and getting in student teaching. I'm hoping that we're able to get these virus numbers under control so that we can get back in. Because from my conversations with this teacher, it has been a kind of a struggle or a challenge to get students to buy in to the participation aspect of things. At least in the first couple of weeks, there could be some issues with um, familiarity with the technology formats. So hopefully this will improve as students become more experienced with the distance learning. But this is going to be a very exciting, very challenging um, couple of months for myself, and so I'm very much looking forward for the opportunity to get my own class of or a class of my own. For the last 3 years, I've been substitute teaching. While that's been very rewarding, I think it's going to be a very different experience and a very positive experience to have my own group of students who I'm able to learn more about their experiences and try to find personal connections to get them to really enjoy the subject of history. Kind of the same way that my parents did. My parents were both history educators. Obviously, my dad is a history teacher at the high school level, and my mom was a history teacher at the high school level before going into the administration side of things. but this is something that I've been preparing for a long time, and I'm very much looking forward to it. So, thank you very much, Professor Fraunfelter. Thank you for all of your efforts in this past month.